think they might ban it away, just because again Cabochard normally does perform better on carries up in the top lane. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Vitality ban like Tahm Kench, potentially Alessandra as well. Because first pick in that, I guess Cabochard can play it, but we just haven't seen it yet. I look at Cabochard, I look at a Fiora player, I look at maybe a Quinn player, Graves top. Obviously, they already banned away Quinn, which is a little bit of a new one coming in.
Yeah, well, the 3 champions Cabo has played Fiora, Graves, Kennen. He's got a very good 5.2 KDA, only died once across the 3 games. Very strong performance, and there's that Tahm Kench ban you were expecting. Lulu as well. Rise still up, Lissandra still up, Alistair still up, so there's some priority picks that could be first pick worthy.
Definitely a lot of them. We know Mithy can play Alistar. I know Kasing can play it as well. We saw it last year. It's just, do you want to first pick it? I'm also looking at like Kalista as an AD carry, because both AD carries played it yesterday. It was picked very early for both of them, and Vitality has to respect what Zven can do on this champion. Also banning Corki, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see first pick Kalista.
Yep.
Obviously depends if like Rise is open or Lissandra as potential other first picks.
I do like Lissandra into a Kalista potentially, but I think what Kalista offers for Origen is something we can't forget, that it just gives them more engaged angles outside from their bot lane. So they can throw Mithy in if he plays the likes of an Alistar or tanky support, an additional guaranteed engage. And Origen sometimes without that Kalista is lacking, and then that's in addition to Zven just being a fantastic Kalista player in terms of side hops, it's in terms of knowing his damage output.
So Origen is putting up a situation here for Vitality saying Rise is open. Do you want to first pick it? It hasn't been the strongest first pick in Europe in every game, because it's very easy to draft compositions with a lot of poke, a lot of fast push against him, and like punish his early game. I'm still looking at that Kalista. Jungle wise, we have everything open. And Vitality seems to agree. Kalista is worth first picking.
And it has been locked in there on the side. So for Origen, is Rise something they want to take? We know soaz can play it, we know Power can take it.
I don't think so.
If they don't, then what will be
because it's too scaling. That was the risk that Origen ran in week 1. Tunneling on scaling compositions. I would just lock in some early game. If they go Rise, they should make sure that they have at least pushing and winning lanes in the other 2. That may be rough to guarantee this early in the draft.
I would go Alistar here if I'm Origen, because I don't want to give Kalista Alistar over to Vitality. I think that combination has been so good, because again, it offers some hard engage by throwing in the Alistar. It is a good lane as well. And I think just the utility these 2 guys together offers is just so good in this current meta. And obviously we love the Alistar as a support pick.
Yep.
Now that we see less and less Poppy coming in.
Currently 5-2 in the spring split with a few seconds left to go. We're actually going to see a Kindred and Elise. Is this going to be
AD
carry?
No,
AD carry?
Yeah. He plays AD, plays AD carry Kindred. In late game, it's actually pretty sick damage if he gets you, because of the wolf procs that are kind of, they are there, but you don't really take that into account very often when you play against AD carry Kindred. I've seen him late game with a full build put somebody to 30% in literally 1 auto, 2 wolf hits, Thunder Lords, and yeah, so rough.
This might switch their priority on support pick for Vitality over to a Thresh. Run Ignite, and you have an all-in 2v2 lane, because Kindred is a very good sustain AD carry, but she can really get hurt, especially pre-level 6 in lane, because she obviously has to land their extra hits to get that lifesteal coming in. Thunder Lord's proc as well very early on. I want to see if Kasing wants to go for it.
But if you want to play Thresh into Neos, somebody's already good at sidestepping hooks, if he dashes out of a hook and returns the damage, if you don't land, and I've actually laned against Mithy and Zven when they played Kindred, what he does is when you play an aggressive Thresh lane, he will try to aggressively flash the hook on the all-in. When he knows he will win the trade, he'll just trade the hook for flash, suddenly you're standing still as Thresh, and you get all in, especially if Alistar comes out with a potential knock up there. So that's a very interesting lane 2v2. So much outplay, depending if you actually have the guts to flash aggressively.
I want to see if Kasing has the same information here that Crepo has from that 2v2.
Well, he's also a better player than me, you know, he may just land his skill shots. But
We'll see. It is a little bit weird, though, when you pick Kindred and Elise together, because you don't really hide anything. Kindred, in this case, because people know Zven plays it in solo queue, would be like, okay, that's AD carry Kindred. And I think Vitality is saying exactly the same. So you're kind of just showing your AD carry.
They just probably value the picks so high that they think, because Vitality could hide more picks by locking in a jungler, right? So if it goes to Vitality, Elise is off the board, they're definitely going to pick Kindred because they want to hide their picks in return. So then Origen's going to lose to Kindred. Maybe they just like the matchup too.
Possibly liking the matchup. Again, sustain is very strong for Kindred. Can't get all in. We're going to have to see if it happens. Alistar is there to protect her now. Double heal basically in this 2v2 lane for Origen. I need to see from Vitality's side if this is Graves top or jungle. Because I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lee Sin pick for Shook. Because against Kindred, she's so focused around having her ulti to save her. Lee Sin can just kick her out of it, and you just kill her instantly, and she's dead in these fights. And that's a lot of what she offers in team fights, outside of just pure damage.
Yeah, kick into hook is actually a really good gank combo where Kindred can't even get the ulti off. Because if she does it at the start, she gets kicked out of it, and you can chain CC her to the point where she's bursted.
So let's find out what Vitality decide. On the side of Origen, they've also got to opt into another probably high damage mid laner for PoE, currently relying entirely on Zven. And who will Vitality run the risk of being countered? They have to pick a safe mid laner here.
Yeah, we talked about the potential Lee Sin. Just give us Lee Sin, not Nidalee. We don't want to see that.
Please.
Current meta, it is super annoying on blue side to blind pick your mid laner. Because I don't think there is any super safe one.
I think LeBlanc is the blind pick laner you kind of want to go for.
Sure.
Ari to an extent, she has barely any losing matchups.
She has LeBlanc though.
She has LeBlanc as a losing matchup, but it's still
PoE.
somewhat of a skill matchup, and PoE is not really doesn't strike me as a LeBlanc player.
It is his chance though to take it.
He has to.
And take that skill matchup. Against LeBlanc, you can be like maybe Zed coming in, but again, it's all skill matchups with these assassins.
But look, you're playing against no tanks, you're LeBlanc.
You can one-shot everything.
You get to push early, you roam top, you have a Shen that you can gank for. You get to push early, you roam bot, you have a Kalista Alistar that you can get. And worst case, if you lose a duel, you have Shen ulti.
Yeah, Origen didn't hide anything in his pick and ban phase. We knew it was Kindred AD carry. Shen was locked in with Alistar, so we know Shen top lane as well. It's just about that last pick mid lane.
Watch him lock in Orianna, by the way. Until the Oblivion.
Syndra's in his kit as well. Maybe
you also need some strong damage
line
in the mid game here, because Vitality has such a strong early to mid game. Ahri, Graves, Kalista. That one could work. That is also a skill matchup, but
too low mobility.
A good Syndra player though can time that stun with the Ahri dash, and then you can one-shot it.
Yeah, true.
So this is obviously a tried and tested pick for Power of Evil. However, it's still the same picks he's kind of cycling through that we saw last year.
I like the safety both Shen and Kindred give her in the later stages of the game though, because Syndra does have the risk of getting exposed, but maybe at least one of them can save her long enough to actually get the combo off. But I would have liked to see a LeBlanc.
Question is, which Shook will show up today? Because Shook has been very hit or miss on his Lee Sin performances. If he plays like he did yesterday, controlled, calculated, hitting his skill shots, Origen could be in trouble.
We can look at both these comps here. And no matter how Shook plays, this should be a super explosive mid game. Because none of these comps are saying, oh, let's just scale to late game and get 5 dragons and then do nothing. Like, Graves top is going to be super aggressive in lane against Shen with low wave clear, push that in 24/7. Big skill matchup in mid lane with a lot of kill pressure. Early game junglers, we got everything.
So we have everything. We need to see which of these teams will lay it out on the Rift. Coaches walking off as the players load onto the Rift. You've seen the team comps. It's now time to load up for our game of the week.
Woo! Woo!
I love that he's
The curtain call comes down, and Roccat bring this one home.
Losses don't matter, like as long as you make it into playoffs.
Vitality take away the only answer Fnatic had.
Every single one of these players in this team can be really, really good.
As long as we have good games and we try to improve, I don't think there will be a problem.
They brought in Power of Evil, but I think it's very similar to Expected. Like the skill upgrade isn't that much, if any at all.
We just want to be a team that is up for contention for playoffs and is going to exceed when the time comes.
And let's find out who's going to pick up another win here in week 2. Vitality and Origen and Deficio. We talked a lot about the mid game, but we may have a level 1.
Yep.
Gentlemen, these guys are going to go toe-to-toe. Death sentence. Kasing winds up and he finds soaz. Pulls him forward. There's a dash back. That was a taunt. soaz has managed to make it out alive. Exhaust has been used. Orb of Deception will ring true on Mithy as Origen go away. Kyonen flashes for first blood at 53 seconds.
Whoa.
Shook's not done yet. He resonating strikes through the jungle. And now Vitality are invading.
We said it was going to be explosive. Level 1, both teams had the same thing in mind. They want to invade into the jungle, get a few deep wards. Vitality wins the battle. They get the wards in. The war is not over yet, though.
And they get their first blood 19 minutes earlier than yesterday. Already a win on the books.
There's no waiting here. We're going to get fights.
Thank goodness. You guys jump on Twitter. Tell us who you think's going to win. Will Vitality with their first blood, hashtag VIT
It's kind
win?
of cheating now, isn't it?
Oh, well.
Changes the matchup entirely. Kasing starts hooked but does get kill experience. There's another longsword on the Kalista. And healers burn on Zven already, so Mithy losing both summoners, so losing
What about
the
the
aggressive window.
rest? PoE no flash, soaz no flash.
It's really rough. Origen
Options for Shook.
Origen lost way more than just that kill. Their initial lane, some lanes have spikes where you can actually outplay and kill the enemy with flash aggressively. They've lost a lot of that potential in at least mid lane and bot lane.
I wonder if we're going to see Shook with a very early mid lane gank. Because you can even just flash Charm level 2 from Ari, and then that's a kill. With Red Buff Lee saying, like, that's a kill 100% on Power of Evil. We gotta see how that lane is pushing, though. Power of Evil, if he's trading with Q, he will always deal damage to the minions. Unless Nukeduck, of course, is standing so far away from them. Right now, it is slowly pushing towards Power of Evil, so this is exactly where he wants the lane to be. Because now he doesn't have to overextend to get any CS. So he wants to sit so far back and just keep it there.
Both bot lanes did seem to get experience on the camps. Maybe the junglers even like give him a super leash with Smite. Elise can definitely do that. Smite Gromp and still get the blue. Because that's a very early level 2 zone. Keystone Mastery is coming out here. Bound the stone on Thresh.
And we see
Really
Mithy.
peculiar.
Mithy again with Windspeaker. After the change in 6.1 where it gives armor and MR when you heal people around you and 10% stronger heal as well.
Look at Sven.
Oh, there's the connection. Sven not going to play aggressive this time round. A lot of stacks from Hyana to Ren. Sven's going to use Kindred's kit to try and sustain up.
But we do see the difference on this patch. Previous patch, that would have been double Thunderlord's proc right now, and Sven would almost have to base at this point. But because we're playing more for late game, further battle with the Bound the Stone there on Kasing, takes a lot less damage than he potentially could have. Especially considering he's down a heal. If Hyana read that in the fight, goes aggressive, there's no way Sven can even consider trading.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the other lanes, because we have Graves top. Obviously, it's something we've seen quite a lot in LCK. We've seen it in Challenger in Europe. It was played yesterday by Caposhot. The way you play Graves top is you close your eyes and then you just spam auto attacks on the minions.
Yeah.
You will automatically push that lane over and over. Look at the top lane here. Caposhot has been at the Tower of Soaz all the time. You need your jungler to secure early Rift Scuttler. That's what Shook has done in the river. And then you just get a few early wards to make sure Caposhot is safe and he can just auto push and chip away on that tower.
Yeah, and all you need is 8 ping and good reaction speed so you don't actually get taunted under the tower and your gap goes out with E. And yeah, 3 tower.
You make it sound so easy. Mithy's got himself a pulverize. The repel in from Amazing. Kasing will slowly get burned down. Teleport started and cancelled by Caposhot. I think soaz may have taunted him. Sven continues to look forward. Dance of Arrows will be up in just a moment. That's a kill back for Origen onto Kasing.
So Origen after that level 1 had Sven pick Kasing as his target, no flash on the support. Obviously the easiest one to gank, because if you go for the Kalista, the Lancer just comes in and saves her. So smart gank from Amazing, good early start for him. Yeah, he needs it.
And it obviously was a cancel by soaz on the top lane. We just rewatched this on the second screen here. So it's literally just walked up, Caposhot wasn't even in the brush to get that TP off. It is okay to teleport to just buy some time, but then you need to tell your teammates that you will get cancelled and they need to run. Because there was just a moment of hesitation there.
Well, Shook is now coming to help out Hyana. Sonic Wave connects. There's some damage onto Mithy. Shook is
in the minions
actually
though.
The one that's in trouble. And wow! Wolf
what we're talking about. He's in a full minion wave, so all those bolts arrive at the same time as that wolf. Goodbye, jungler.
And now Caposhot needs to back away from top, because his jungler just showed on the bottom side. So that perma push he's doing, that's too risky. You can see him recalling now as well, and Amazing instantly is showing himself on top side, because he knows, okay, there was a ganking chance on Caposhot. And constantly when you play these perma-pushing lanes, you always need vision control, and your jungler cannot make mistakes. This, in my opinion, is so unnecessary for Shook. There's almost nothing good he can gain from this.
Yeah, he's just poking, but look. Come on, that's... that even...
I've never seen him doing that much damage.
I wonder if that's even, like... should happen.
Gentlemen, the numbers here. 80 plus 25. 5% of the target's max health on that third proc in conjunction with Wolf's Frenzy. In conjunction with Dance of Arrows, so...
I know, we need to put Freak on the case to run that math, but yeah, that was pretty disgusting.
I've never seen that much damage from a level 480 carry.
Well, good
but
thing
I tell you, man,
Origen.
Imagine if he actually does that and he flashes your hook aggressively to free shield.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
that's how you end up in Diamond 1.
Doctors hate him, that's just it, man.
After Shook has donated the kill to Sven, he's now got a 6-minute BF sword in conjunction with his Dorans and Longsword. As if Hyana's and Kasing's life wasn't already difficult, Sven's going to have all the sustain and protection from Mithy and from his own kit.
And what was supposed to be at least from Vitality a lane where they could play somewhat aggressive in the 2v2 and try and set up a kill, aggressive summoner from Kasing as well for the laning phase. because of the level 1 where they use the summoners and then the early gank from Amazing, everything has kind of gone wrong with that 2v2, and Origen is in full control on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, they were also just slightly late to lane. I think their camp was started like a couple of seconds later, which means they were a little later to lane. Maybe have missed a couple of melee creeps. Suddenly Origen was pushing them early game, and it all trickles down from that.
Which is a very interesting thing with how minions are spawning earlier. So when you are invading into the enemy jungle at level 1, it's hard to get to lane in time and not miss anything if you're on the opposite side of the map. At first, Amazing can invade in. This is purely because you are controlling the bottom side. Mid lane right now has been fairly even, but it's pushed. Then you can start invading into the enemy jungle, and soaz and Cabochard are trading. Graves has a ton of burst. You don't expect it. Well, you do expect it because it's Graves, but be careful when you take these trades.
You should expect it.
Cocoon finds Nukeduck. The stun follow-up into the cleanse. Now it's Amazing in trouble. He does have a Raptor to jump over the wall to, but summon a spell down.
Always leave an emergency Raptor up.
Same thing again, though. You have control on 2 lanes. You have 2 pushing lanes. That's how you play this meta. And you just start invading into enemy jungle. Early side stone for Mithy. Then you can go for these dives, and you can also escape because you know that backup is ready.
Yeah, what this does is it chunks Nukeduck a little bit. He's back up to full health right now. But it sets up for Power of Evil to potentially poke and then flash engage, because Nukeduck only has flash. If he's not ready to pull that trigger, maybe he can get one combo by Power of Evil if Power of Evil gets the poke off beforehand.
Take a look at the middle lane. Power of Evil does have flash available, may need to call it into question. Shook does not have his rage available, and the ultimate from Power of Evil unleashes onto Shook. No kill yet.
And the fact Nukeduck had no ulti because it was used before just saved Power of Evil's life right here in this gang. So
greedy positioning though from PoE. Should never be in between the minions right there.
I still think the whole early plan from Vitality got ruined quite a lot. Again, the fact they couldn't go at least even in the 2v2, because normally with Graves you want to play around him with your jungler because that's your winning lane in the early game. But Cabochard had to like just kind of sit on his own, and he had to now stop perma pushing because Shook would win bottom lane and so on.
Yeah, it's almost reminiscent of the Renekton era, where Renekton would lock in Ignite, win every single matchup possible, push up, and then as the wave masses up, that's when you just put your jungler there and you win that dive every single time. Worst case, you just deny experience. That's what you can do with the Graves top in the very early levels. But Shook was needed elsewhere.
And we have double pink ward now on top side of the map from Origen. So Cabochard is always thinking, oh, is there a jungler coming? Because soaz is going aggressive. They can clear out this pink ward down in the bush now that soaz is pushing. Amazing is showing himself. And that is a very easy kill. Taunt into Cocoon, and Graves is dead.
No worries, once they set it up, still not going to clear out that pink just yet.
Amazing was spotted.
Ward just faded.
Yeah. Well, it gets revealed, leaves some debris behind. But Amazing and Shook, similar areas of the map. This week more than last week. Amazing's in mostly the right place at the right time. Was positioning up towards the top lane a few moments ago as Power of Evil is now under a little bit of pressure.
And Origen is just waiting for Mithy to hit level 6 at the moment, and you have an unkillable bottom lane. Kindred ulti, Alistar ulti. Once you have that, you have soaz with double TP and a way stronger teleport than a Graves, you just set up a dive on the bottom lane against Kalista or Thresh. Super simple play for Origen, because right now, they're technically in control in every single lane. Even soaz, who's behind, has been more than fine the last few minutes. So Vitality is nowhere they're winning at the moment.
Yep.
If they help Cabochard, he can take that lead back, but then Origen makes a play on bottom side.
Also, Mithy can just choose to roam. If you look, compare the item builds on the support side now, Kasing went for the upgrade on the Targons. So he's on a tier 2 relic shield. Yes, then that's him more gold in the early laning phase, but it just puts you so far down. You don't have a side stone, which is even more valuable because the super limited amount of wards that are available to you.
Yeah,
you
really
get those for free really early. You can get deep vision. You basically force Thresh to be in lane.
We talked about this play here. Origen could set up. Amazing is here. Vitality pinged it before. It's a very obvious, it's a textbook play, so they obviously know this can happen. They might do something mid though.
Let's take a look. The charm didn't kick connected, and Power of Evil's pinned against the wall. Stand United will save Power of Evil's life, and now Shook and Nukeduck, they're inside Origen's jungle. Shook will flash away from the taunt and dash away from the stun. But he may, well, he'll find some support from Cabo, and Nukeduck makes it out, but the dive fails.
Yeah, and more importantly, it drew both Mithy and Amazing away from bot lane. They could have actually just went for that play and traded plays all across the map, but they felt that they could capitalize on that and get Nukeduck, but Shook distracted long enough and got away there. So even though they kind of screwed up the dive, they did make it out alive, and they saved their bot lane from the additional pressure.
Yeah, that's what I really like, is when there's a textbook play, it almost becomes predictable in a way. So if you do something they don't expect, like random, or not randomly, obviously there was a reason because Power Weaver had no flash, you dive mid lane. So you suddenly force the play from OG instead of letting them be proactive. Because League of Legends, it's all about being proactive. Because if you're the ones making the play first, you force your team to react and you often have the control.
Yep.
So I really like that play from Vitality, and we can see Cabochard got a lot of free farm and free hits on tower because soaz left the lane.
Well, no towers have fallen yet, 12 minutes into the game. We've seen some fairly early towers over the last week and a half. Even on gold, only 1 kill advantage here to Origen. And some big items already picked up. Blade of the Rune King versus Essence Reaver for the AD carries. Abyssal versus Athenes for your mid laners. I'm talking about the mid laners. Nukeduck, he's going to find a bull with some horns. Mithy flashes from the orb, maybe anticipating the charm. Nukeduck will land the charm onto Amazing, but it's a 3v1. And that is an easy kill for Origen.
Yeah, really good setup, really good cooldown tracking overall. They knew he didn't have the flash. Ulti was just barely available because it's up right now. It must have been still on cooldown. And just good synergy right there. Even through the cleanse, just gets blown up.
So who is next? Death Sentence? Will not find anybody. What goes up must come down. Amazing gets flayed backwards. 3 members of Vitality looking for blood. Cocoon finds Kasing and soaz will teleport in. Amazing goes down to Shook in a jungle on jungle action.
all really
and
low.
soaz has been chunked out. Hyonin is looking for some kills. The Fate's Call will knock Power of Evil up. But here comes Sven. He's lopped over the wall. Dance of Arrows forward. It's 1 kill for PoE, another for Sven. Now soaz is going to connect to the taunt. Shook's in trouble. He's dancing around the Scuttle Crab as all of Origen are collapsing on him. A flash forward for the final.
Yeah, miscommunication on the side of Vitality. Thought they were winning the fight, but they forgot about Sven coming into that fight, and more importantly, they forgot that Cabochard did not have teleport available.
All he gets for his team right now is the top tower. He was slowly chipping it down anyway. And this is what you can do when you have Shen. The double TP from one champion is often so impactful in the early to mid game. So he's able to join his team here, while normally the both top laners would be stuck up there. And OG, therefore, they can take the fight.
So look, Power of Evil's already heading to the fight.
Nukeduck is dead, obviously.
Yeah, Nukeduck's dead right now, but Vitality is winning the fight. Teleport comes in, and this is where they want to disengage, but they just think they can win the fight because Shook makes a good play, but they really forget about Sven coming in. Right now, Cabochard, that was pushing the top lane. Yeah, Overstate is welcome, and he's going down too.
Yeah, gonna get run down. Caught between a ninja and a Spider Woman. And it's Amazing that gets the kill credit.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
And it just breaks the momentum. It allows soaz to push out.
But that's such a sloppy mistake.
Yes?
Your entire team just died on the bottom side of the map, and obviously you can't keep pushing. Crepper, aren't you disappointed?
Are you surprised though?
I am used to disappointment in the European outfit. No.
Wow. Woof. You can leave.
Stay salty, Greppo. Look at the pressure from Vitality. Shook had moved down to this bottom half of the map. We'll put some pressure onto the tower, and they've scared Origen away.
See what happens though. Yanan gets engaged on.
He does. There's a lantern to pull him out to safety though. Sven is going to continue to chase forward. Blade of the Rune King will keep Yanan alive and safe. And running through the river aren't the rest of Origen.
But again, with all these plays we saw in the early game where mid lane went wrong for Vitality, with Nukeduck getting ganked first, then he died later on. Bot lane as well with Sven getting all the early kills. It just resulted in Origen having at least 2 lanes winning from the start, and it's made it very difficult for Vitality to make any aggressive plays.
Yep. And now in the mid game too, instead of chipping away a couple bits of damage in that top lane tower, you were talking about this earlier, off-cast too, soaz decided to leave the lane. He took over the mid lane. That allowed both Amazing and Power of Evil to roam into the bot for support, which allowed then in turn the bot lane to play more aggressive. So it's a rippling effect. You start into the top lane, you have a wave pushing, use that as a pressure point, then you move your top lane to the mid lane, that's a pressure point, and then you can really outnumber people in the bot lane for an additional pressure point, and that really forces mistakes on the side of Vitality.
Yeah, especially also now that tier 1 towers are going down. Once you get to the tier 2 ones, getting that jungle vision is just so important for almost everything you do. It allows you again to set up the play, spot what is happening. Suddenly you can go for Baron and Dragon. So instead of getting like 1 or 2 hits on towers and then run away, it's better to just push your wave in and then go into that jungle. Set up that vision, deny the vision, and create a big play instead that gives you the full tower, instead of slowly having to chip it down 10-15 times.
And with Origen making the tower plays and map plays, they've got themselves a comfortable
Vitality's
2,000
gonna die
gold lead.
again.
Vitality are not respecting the map, but take a look at the middle. Power of Evil's going to be in trouble while Kasing and Hyanin are running for their lives. There's no teleport from Cabo Shard. The target will be Hyanin on the back line. Power of Evil was killed by Shook, but so is Hyanin in reply. Kasing tried to get out. The exhaust comes down, looking for a pulverize. Mithy will pin him against the wall. The cocoon lands, and Zven will pick up a double kill, 5-0-2. Will Vitality at least be able to get a tower? Depends how effectively soaz can wave clear.
So I just want to go big picture super quick. The way Vitality wants to play with Graves is you want him to push the top wave into tier 2 tower and then roam him to mid lane. And he takes down the mid tower. That's supposed to be the play. So Kasing and Hyanin has nothing to do on the bottom side of the map, pushing up to a tier 1 tower. They should just leave that lane, going towards mid lane, support the rest of the team because your AD carry is joining from top side and you just take a free tower. Instead, it results in Origen getting 2 kills bot side, another tower, where honestly Vitality had the spike with more than Mortis and a level 11 Graves.
Yep, definitely so. What Origen did well in terms of pushing a lane and then leaving it to assist the other lanes, Vitality kind of failed to do so. They didn't have the oversight, they did not respect the fog of war. Let's see what happened in the mid lane. It was actually avoidable. Shook comes in, kick flash into charm. Yeah, beautiful play here by Nukeduck and Shook. And this is what should have happened on that initial dive in the mid lane earlier. Shook does drop though.
And this play, just think of it as if they had Hyanin and Kasing moving in as well. Because it's a long lane OG had to push in the bottom lane anyway, so you would force them mid to defend. And that's what you wanted to do also with moving down the Graves. Instead though, more kills to Origen, a few for Vitality.
Yeah, we see Origen switching because part 1's done. Bot side of the map is done. They're now switching to the top side of the map in terms of vision control. They isolate that top lane tower. Cabo Shard is cut out. Bring his Shen in.
There is nothing for Cabo to do. He's being chased away from his side of the map. The rest of Vitality are pushing down in the bottom lane, but this should go to Zven. Another kill. 6-0-2. Outer turrets available for Origen, more gold versus an inner turret down bottom, so Vitality at least trying to keep some map pressure even.
Yeah, this play right now is uneven. Obviously tier 2 is better than tier 1. The kill kind of equals out, but what they also get on Origen's side is like a complete vision control over the blue area, and we are approaching the 20-minute mark. If they can use that vision to get more vision later on, they can isolate the Baron, and then they can start baiting that later on.
And you keep building up your AD carry. 5 stacks now. Sven, we're 19 minutes into the game. I mean, get 7-8 stacks towards late game and you will be very, very strong. Obviously also around these objectives like Baron. So Origen put a lot of value on that play. Vitality gets something in return again, but they are still behind because OG has just been getting a little bit more on almost every single play.
Yeah, with a Shen in the bot lane too that can build relatively tanky. He doesn't care how long that lane is because he has multiple ways to enter the fight. He has 2 teleports available, so losing that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane isn't the biggest issue as long as Graves will never siege down that base tower.
And the problem that's going to happen now towards the late game, for Cabo Shard especially, is the fact that he wants to keep sitting in that side lane and pushing it to maximize his farm. But again, he only has 1 global. And a Graves TP is not really that scary. Like, if he TP's in behind you, you just stun him and kill him, basically. He's gonna have to build like Steric's Gauge and so on with more than Mortis and be like a bruiser type, which is a good build on Graves. But he's flanking compared to soaz joining in constantly with Sprong. This is not going to be the same effect. Vitality wants to keep pushing on towers and creating picks. It is very difficult once you start on losing lanes, and therefore the map control is not in your favor.
Yeah, Cabo Shard just ultied as well, so any all-in potential that he would maybe have in a trade exchange with soaz is gone too. soaz can comfortably push in pressure in the bot lane, so we may actually see another play setup. The only limiting factor right now is Nukeduck. He's still strong enough to threaten Zven in the 1v1.
I think that's important when you note there's only really 2 sources of damage on the side of Origen. If Zven or PoE do go down, that can be an opportunity for Vitality to get themselves back in.
Yes and no. Usually, yes, but the Vitality lineup doesn't have a true tank. That's something you have to take into account when you look at damages at one side. Shen's base damages combined with at least an Alistar is still enough to take down one of these squishies.
So basically what Vitality is looking to do now is they want to get in the jungle of Origen. They want to clear out a few of the wards, so they need to just spam pink wards, honestly. Every single member, once you go back, you need to buy a pink ward.
Yep.
Do that in solo queue as well. They're cheaper and they will win you the games. Get the pink wards now, get control around one of the sides of Origen jungle, and create picks. They're trying for one here. Sadly, they kick Amazing the wrong way.
Yeah, Amazing gets kicked to safety, but Mithy, he gets hooked by a death sentence. Hyanin is left for dead, forced to flash in front of his team. soaz finds the Shadow Dash towards, and that will be Hyanin tickets. He's down, and Origen will have complete control of this middle lane. 1 lost outer turret if they want it. Amazing goes up, will repel back down. Power of Evil scatters the weak, looks for the stun. Nukeduck does not find the charm, and he's forced to dash away. And the Sonic Wave snipe from Shook. soaz is going to get a double taunt as Sven is dashing forward once more. Lamb's Respite keeps everyone alive. As long as you're in the ring, you're here to play. Flash defensively from Mithy, the man that started it all. Sven shuts down. Team bonus gold for that monumental kill streak, and Vitality are right back in it.
Looked pretty bad in the start here for Vitality, losing Yarnan very early, but Nukeduck hadn't even joined the fight.
Yep.
Comes in with his ulti. I didn't even get to see if Power of Evil did anything.
He panic ultied with not too many spheres on the ground once he got engaged on, thinking he got his ulti off before he got dropped. All the way at the start of that play though, let's watch that again. I think the only way this makes sense is if Shook thinks he has flash available. So watch this, he's gonna go in, Q. I think he wants to kick flash here, but forgets that he has flash, or he just thought he was slightly behind Amazing. That's the only way that play makes sense. So he definitely did not want to kick him sideways. Slight misplay here. Good exhaust by Mithy, keeping Yarn on lockdown. Watch soaz right here with the taunt flash.
Yeah, good taunt flash. We also see the TP from Caboshot, how he can't really flank, so he has to join in where his team is, and he doesn't get to deal any damage just yet. Graves, you want to fight around these walls here where you can proc your end of the line.
Miscommunication. Niels, Sven is going top, while Amazing is running straight into mid lane. This is something we saw yesterday from Origen, and this is what ultimately loses them the fight.
It's not on any individual players other than as a team. Sven, the 7-1 Kindred, is the one walking away, and he also gets his ulti down a little bit too late. soaz is already dead, and now it's actually only benefiting Vitality that ulti's there. And they can just clean up the fight. Good charm flash as well from Nukeduck in the end.
And that is worse than like mechanical misplays like there from Shook. That is just that is gut feeling, you know. Either you think you're behind him or you think you have flash. That's fixable. But these communication issues that we've seen twice now this weekend from Origen, more of a worrying trend.
Look at those chunks from Sven onto Yarnan with the 6 stacks on his passive. 6 hunts completed, 7.5% damage. Look how quickly soaz and Sven are already taking Baron without Amazing.
Why is Caboshot bot?
Because they're revealing in the mid lane. We saw PoE and Alistar both reveal themselves on wards in the mid lane. Then we had a 2-man Baron. Amazing joins in just a little later, and Vitality did not take into account the amount of damage a Kindred and an Elise do to Baron. It's a sloppy mistake.
Again, super sloppy. Almost no matter who they see where, running bot lane with no TP, even in a lane at the moment where the only inhibitor turret is left, so there's no threat of minions doing anything. You walk down against a Kindred, we're into the mid game where Baron can go down super quick. That is really, again, a macro mistake from Vitality that's costing them a lot. And honestly, the fact they won their last team fight now means almost nothing.
No, that advantage is completely gone. Also, they only have 1 blue trinket. While they've been fighting consistently for that Baron vision, they should have opted for more blue trinkets to not have to face check, because they were all afraid to face check, and they just didn't calculate in the fact that Kindred and Elise can 2-man Baron super easily.
So well into the mid game, and Origen have reclaimed control. soaz with Stand United and Teleport will be shoving out that bottom lane slowly but surely. Look at Sven solo up top, 1-3-1. Not your traditional 1-3-1, but with Baron buff and the current power with the map plays, Origen are sitting pretty.
Kindred is also one of the AD carries who can jump over a lot of these small walls, so when she is sitting in the side lanes, it's fairly easy for her to escape. Also on a low cooldown with the W down. And you always have soaz's backup to buy time. The rest of your team is sitting in mid lane, so you can basically just yell at them and they will come and help you.
It's also way safer to go top first because it only gives you 1 exposed flank as opposed to 2. We're limited wards right now. If you're playing against the full skirmish kind of assassination comp that wants to hard engage with Charm Flash, with Lee Sin coming over a wall, Flash being thrown in, it's a lot harder to defend in the mid lane.
We've just seen too many problems for Vitality in the early game to use that composition. We knew it was going to be explosive. There's been a lot of fights, a lot of small things happening left and right, a lot of good moves, kind of forcing the hand of the other team, surprising them a little bit as well. But there's been too many mistakes from Vitality as a team.
Mithy's going to flash, and he's done it! The Pulverize will actually knock Caboshot away and catch Kasing. Fate's Call, pulled the trigger by Yarnan, and Kasing throws himself forward. Death Sentence doesn't find a target, but the Charm does. soaz is going to flash away defensively.
Complete disengaging third dragon here for Origen. Could have been a good fight. Mithy over-eager and slightly hesitant on the combo. You saw him hesitate just a fraction of a second right there. Only gets Thresh up. It's a bit of a failed combo. A bit of over-eager too. I don't think he needed to make that play. If you just hold Flash from Alistar as a counter-engage tool, the amount of zone that provides in teamfights, especially considering you're going on a Thresh who has Fate's Call available,
I wonder if he just saw the charm hit Zven and he was just like, I need to go in to try and stop them. I just want to see when he's jumping in. Because he's obviously sitting ready to do it. They're talking about he has a team, you know, can be flash torn or whatever. Where's the charm? Comes in there, and then he goes in. So I'm not sure if he just wanted to make the play, or he was like, oh, my AD carry's in trouble. If I don't do it, he might die.
Would have been a good play if he gets Cabo Shard, actually. If he hits the combo on Cabo, it's an okay reactionary play. Sadly, he just messes up a combo a little bit. And this is Mithy, who used to land every single one, and it just shows you that the new altered Alistar WQ combo is just incredibly hard to consistently hit.
Yeah, gonna need a couple more games under their belt before they can land that one.
Sure, that's the problem for Mithy.
Just, it's a different experience, different missile speed.
It is.
The problem is that hang on.
Well, Power of Evil has
a problem.
That's what I was about to say. The problem is that Power of Evil is about to get caught. Now, Vitality can now push.
How much can Vitality take? Amazing is starting to recall from the jungle, soaz doing the same thing from the bottom lane. He does, of course, have Stand United if Mithy wants to engage. This is a 4-man defense from Origen. soaz is late to the party. The inhibitor turret is fallen without any resistance, and Origen to make the call. Let it go. The inhibitor goes as well. soaz, there's no flash, remember, and he dashes away. All of a sudden, now Vitality back in control.
That was such a big play from Vitality, and I wonder how Power of Evil ended up dying. He had flash ready.
Yep.
Not sure if he wasn't expecting Shook to kick flash him back into Vitality.
Origen just said, do you want to build a throw, man? And then they let it go.
Power of Evil going to be wrecked after that play. Origen all of a sudden have to find some way to get back in control. They still maintain gold lead, but they have to deal with that exposed super minion lane. In fact, they're pushing it back. Best thing to do against supers, and it's not Vitality a little bit caught out of position.
We're still in the situation where Origen, all 5 members together, they have the strong front line. Alistar, Shen, tank Elise as well, to buy time for the damage dealers to do work. So as long as Vitality doesn't flank on them and instant kill Power of Evil or Zven, Origen still has a very, very strong 5-on-5 team fight that's been hard to deal with if you're on Vitality's side.
There's only one problem. No QSS just yet, I believe, on Zven. Once he gets that, he can actually comfortably start playing forward. We've seen this before. The way he plays, especially when they played a lot of these protect the AD carry compositions, he can play stupidly far forward once he has QSS, because if that of Charm Flash is out of the window, and then only thing that matters is either smoke screen that removes your vision, or a flying kick from the Lee Sin.
Obviously, it is only 2 damage dealers on the side of Origen, and he's gonna be the main one.
Yeah.
Syndra is the great burst, but her overall damage, when it comes full late game, it becomes harder and harder for her to one-shot someone.
So it's all on Zven right now. That's why it's still limited in terms of aggression. He has to be careful, because Nukeduck has been on point with a certain amount of charm flashes. PoE lurking in the shadows, though. Hyanan should respect this and not go any farther.
Hyanan's got that QSS, as well as the Hurricane and Blade of the Ruined King. PoE finally decides to back away. Taking a look at some of the other items very quickly. Cabo's got that Sterix up and completed with the Ghost Blade and the Maw. Zven, all damage for the time being. Essence Reaver, Eye Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon. So the arms race continues to scale higher and higher, and Baron will be up in less than 1 minute. So some deep wards in Origen's jungle will help out Vitality, and that seems to be the objective for now.
Yeah, and again, because Power of Evil got caught in the mid lane, it now gave mid control to Vitality with the super minions pushing in. Origen had to back a bit further away. That opens up the river at the Baron for Vitality to move in, set up their pink wards and get the vision. So now they might be able to create a pick. If you get Amazing, if you get Power of Evil or Zven, you might be able to one-shot them. But it's going to be difficult.
The difference here is, though, that Origen have a lot of members that could actually risk a face check or like facilitate it. At least with Volatile Spiraling, Shen can technically go in there. He will take a lot of damage. Alistar can always face check. It'll cost him the ultimate. Whereas Vitality earlier, when they were scared of the Baron vision, nobody can face check or come even close to brushes.
So vision even more important for Vitality then. This little pink ward, by the way, stayed alive for 10+ minutes. It's not the most optimal position, but teleport's available for both Cabochard and soaz. Vitality, they're playing the bait game.
Again, keep in mind where Cabochard has to TP too. He needs to join his team. soaz is the one who can play aggressive with teleports. He can go back to base, get home guards. Origen might even look to make an aggressive play, use TP and then do it again after. Amazing though, Might be caught out.
He was, but he's flashed away. Cabo's teleported in. Scatter the Weak finds a stun, and Yarnan's knocked up. Nukeduck's trying to zone away Zven. Amazing will be the first one to fall this fight before Power of Evil follows. Zven puts down Lamb's Respite. He's staying alive, flashes and skips away. But that's a triple kill, I think, for Yarnan. He's going to close the team fight out, and Vitality, hands down, win.
One of the big things about the Graves pick, let's see soaz. Again, he's just delaying the recall. Because Vitality, they're going to finish.
They're going to finish the game. This game is over.
This game might be done. Vitality have grouped up as 4 in the middle lane. There's nobody but Shook to tank up for now. They'll swap the Nexus turret aggro. 30 seconds before any damage dealers are on the rift. And Vitality strike down Origen to pick up the win.
Well, soaz is coming, but...
Oh, it's not done yet. soaz gets a taunt. He's going to try and interrupt it. They've stopped killing the Nexus, but it will only be for show. And finally, Vitality close it out.
So we talked briefly about this earlier, but one of the things about Graves is you can build these bruiser items like Moore and Steric's Gauge and so on. Like, they surprise people because you think you're bursting him down as an AD carry, and then double shield is proccing for magic damage and everything, and he becomes pretty tanky suddenly.
And it only takes him like 2 seconds to unleash his full combo.
Exactly. And Power of Evil in that.
Me parece interesante e importante porque seguramente hace unos años que no aparece o que no se presenta, por lo menos al público, un libro sobre décimas. Parece como que la décima fuese un género de antaño, de hace muchos años atrás, y que nadie más escribiera o dijera décimas, cuando eso no es cierto. Me parece importante el trabajo de Omar, porque es un trabajo de juglar, de griot, de juglar de estos juglares europeos, de estos griots africanos que hasta ahora cuentan historias, y es un poco la memoria colectiva del pueblo. Lo interesante de tener este trabajo escrito en este soporte es que esto queda aquí. Es lo interesante y lo peligroso, porque ya Omar no podrá decir no, yo esa décima no la hice así. Alguien va a decir, acá mira hermano, en la página tal tú dijiste que, oh, verdad. Y creo que Omar, junto a un pequeño grupo de gente que está cultivando la décima, vienen a renovar este género antiquísimo, este género que nosotros lo tenemos, no sé, desde 1600 aproximadamente, pero que seguramente tenía ya su historia. Me parece sumamente halagador que Omar nos pueda contar parte de la historia de la ciudad limeña, que nos cuente de amores y desazones, de conquistas y fracasos, que nos cuente la vida. Felicito mucho a Omar, felicito a los decimistas del Perú, felicito a todos esos decimistas que hemos olvidado su nombre y que de repente, al brindarle, al tributarle esta tarde un aplauso a Omar por el lanzamiento de este libro, posiblemente estemos tributando también un aplauso a todos esos grandes decimistas que no tuvieron la posibilidad de publicar un libro. Así que voy a pedir un aplauso a este trabajo y a todos aquellos trabajos que no vimos publicados.
Para mí es un enorme placer estar hoy acá acompañando a Omar en la presentación, en la puesta en circulación, el lanzamiento de este libro al que le hemos dedicado varios meses de cariño, ¿no? Este es un libro fresco, este es un libro limpio, es un libro que no está contaminado por toda esta basura que rodea a la industria editorial en nuestro país hoy. Ante la canción mal hecha de la radio, la poesía incomprensible y arrogante del libro, y nosotros despojados. Pero cada tanto aparece entre nosotros, como ave rara, como viento fresco, algún poeta que canta, algún músico que trabaja el lenguaje con fino cincel, algún creador que insiste en tallar la síntesis milenaria de la palabra y el sonido. Desde hace algunas décadas, en nuestro idioma, nos ha dado por decirles a estos aventureros de la voz y la palabra, cantautores, con lo que establecemos un espacio aparte de la poesía y aparte de la música, como si fuera necesario abrir, o cerrar más bien, un entorno, una celda, en la que se encuadren sin invadir el territorio tan establecido ya de los poetas y los compositores. Cantautores porque cantan las canciones que ellos mismos han escrito, pero también porque algo en nuestro sistema de prestigios literarios y musicológicos nos pide no aceptar que se trata de poetas, que además de ser poetas, son también compositores, que además de ser compositores, cantan. Poetas como Silvio Rodríguez, Violeta Parra, Georges Brassens, Bob Dylan, autores de canciones que representan la victoria de la palabra sobre el papel, el vuelo del sentido en alas de onda sonora. A esta estirpe pertenece Omar Camino, que habiendo puesto ya en el aire la tersura de su voz, irrumpe hoy en el papel, en el libro impreso, con un ejemplo fresco y limpio, claro y contundente, de esta poesía eterna que canta en la medida de sus sílabas, en la rítmica percusión de sus décimas, en la perfecta irregularidad de sus sonetos, convertidos en canales de su mirada sobre la ciudad, las cosas cotidianas, el amor, el olvido, la risa y el tiempo. Hay que agradecerle a este poeta que canta la valiente decisión de publicar una parte de lo que lleva siempre en el canto, devolviendo a la canción su estatuto de poesía, recuperando para el verso la calidad musical de su más ancestral origen. Gracias a Omar, podemos hoy llevar en un libro toda la fuerza de la música. Gracias.
Músico y poeta de formación autodidacta. Su condición de cantautor lo ha llevado a relacionar su poética con el verso tradicional español y construir, a partir del arte de las décimas, una propuesta íntimamente relacionada con el canto a la manera de los antiguos juglares. Décimas de primera fue el título de su columna personal publicada durante el 2011 en el diario limeño La Primera. Ha participado en festivales y encuentros de música y poesía en Ecuador y México. Su obra musical está compuesta por los trabajos discográficos Camino, publicado en Lima en el 2009, y La Soledad Sonora, publicado en la misma ciudad en el 2012. Como vocalista y compositor de la banda de rock Danza Rota, grabó los discos Danza Rota Lima en 2003 y Abrazar el Mundo en Lima en 2006. Ha brindado talleres de décimas en ciudades como Cochabamba, Cusco y Lima. En la actualidad trabaja en su tercer proyecto musical, Adioses y Bienvenidas. Recibamos con un aplauso a Omar Camino, autor de este libro Todo lo llevo en el canto.
Buenas tardes con todos, muchas gracias por venir, por estar aquí compartiendo este espacio de presentación. Es la primera vez que presento un libro, así que aunque he participado en muchas presentaciones de libros, pues el formato no me lo he aprendido. Yo voy a improvisar aquí, voy a hablar un poco del trabajo y agradecer en primer lugar a los miembros de la mesa. Se los he dicho, es un lujo para mí tener la presencia aquí de Rafael Santa Cruz, de Carlos Maza, de Víctor Vimos, hermanos del arte, de la palabra también. Así que les pido un fuerte aplauso para ellos. Muchas gracias. Como bien decían Rafael y Carlos, pues el arte de hacer décimas es un arte muy antiguo, ¿no? Los antiguos hispanohablantes empezaron a hacer poesía cantada. Y cuando se empezó a cantar la poesía generalmente, naturalmente salió octosilábicamente. ¿Y por qué? Porque parece ser que el octosílabo es el metro natural del hispanohablante. Parece ser que, como decía Rafael Santa Cruz, decía buenos días señorita, buenas noches, caballero, etc. Nos referimos, hablamos continuamente en octosílabos. Y pues esta medida se internó en el canto popular, en los versos populares de los antiguos poetas en el pueblo, y así se difundió por toda Hispanoamérica. Llegaba a nosotros, convertía en canciones. Es tan importante este verso que alguien calcula por ahí que el 70% de la tradición musical española, por ejemplo, es octosilábico. Yo me atrevo a pensar que más o menos en Latinoamérica pasa lo mismo, ¿no? Que debe pasar lo mismo. Uno puede escuchar canciones octosilábicas por aquí, por allá en la tradición. Y eso da mucho que hacer y mucho que pensar y mucho que jugar. Y yo, que soy cantautor, al encontrarme con la décima, inmediatamente pues sentí la pasión extrema de alguien que se enamora pues de una forma de expresarse de inmediato. Empecé a acompañar mis conciertos con décimas, empecé a escribir y presentarme así, cantando, declamando. Y de pronto pues se presenta esta oportunidad de publicar el libro, por el cual debo agradecer a ITR Ediciones, a toda la gente de ITR, porque han empujado esto hasta que por fin se ha materializado. Así que quiero agradecer en especial a Ivy Tejada Rubín, que estaba por ahí. Muchas gracias por su apoyo. Gracias. Y descubrir además en el camino que la décima pues es varias cosas a la vez. Puede ser, por ejemplo, una pequeña obra de teatro en sus 10 líneas. Es decir, tiene las 3 partes del teatro clásico: la presentación, el nudo y desenlace. Es musical porque modula, es decir, si uno, no sé si recuerdan el cuadro de hace un rato, tiene una estructura que a la mitad, en el verso 5 hacia el 6, cambia. Entonces es como modular, es como en la música cuando pasamos de menor a mayor. Y así recreamos una canción, igual es la décima. Entonces es una estrofa exquisita, que es la que más se ha desarrollado. Hay algunos sonetos aquí también, porque me he atrevido con el endecasílabo, y por ahí algunas coplas o cuartetas, pero básicamente es un libro de décimas, de un momento a otro, a una hermosísima, curvilínea, aerodinámica camioneta del año. El tico se la queda mirando. Era un tico que creía en el amor a primer juego de luces. Esto se titula El mecánico romance del tico y la camioneta. Dice así: mujer, pasas y no miras, ignoras que en la luz roja hay un chasis que sonroja al ver lo lindo que giras. Sin saber, arroz me tiras, mas con eso no me espantas. Aceleras y adelantas a este pequeño modelo que al verte se queda lelo con el vaivén de tus llantas. Te sigo entre muchos buses por verte en la maletera. Con otro en la carretera casito me doy de bruces, le grito: no te me cruces, lo dejo atrás y me afianzo, me digo sí o sí me lanzo, y con las tuercas chirriantes sorteando carros brillantes a los segundos te alcanzo. Al semáforo siguiente a tu ladito me paro, volteo y le guiño el faro a tu chasis reluciente. Tu belleza de repente me desinfla la alegría, porque tu carrocería devuelve el triste reflejo de este auto pequeño y viejo, sin porvenir en la vía. Es verdad, no tengo un cobre, pero este mundo da vueltas. Yo por sus curvas esbeltas cambio mi suerte salobre. Yo dejaré de ser pobre y soy de noble motor, un tanque lleno de amor como el mío, aunque taxista, no hallarás en la autopista este parque automotor. Es que ver tu lata fina, deslumbrante, es un deleite. Vieras cómo quemo aceite, cómo bebo gasolina. Te pregunta mi bocina: ¿sabes cuál es mi quimera? Mi corazón se acelera, quiere que pases la noche bien empernada este coche en una vieja cochera. Al cónsul de la embajada no le gusta la sonrisa con que le pido la visa, que me declara negada. Todo porque dije nada ante su cara de espanto, pues me preguntó que a cuánto asciende mi patrimonio. Yo agregué en mi testimonio, todo lo llevo en el canto. Al guardia de migraciones que hace preguntas concisas, más que presentarle visas, yo le canto mis canciones. Molesto por mis reacciones, me silencia y ahí me planto para responderle cuánto dinero hay en mi cartera. Va mi respuesta sincera, todo lo llevo en el canto. Cuando finalice el viaje y la muerte haga requisa, con mi tímida sonrisa me entregaré a su arbitraje. Prohibido el equipaje, me asegurará entre tanto, va envolviéndome en su manto la muerte y todo su olvido. Le diré lo que he querido, todo lo llevo en el canto. Le diré lo que he querido, todo lo llevo en el canto. Muchas gracias.